What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. Guys, there is an old saying that says, "He who laughs last, laughs best." And I've often found this to be true in my life, and you know who I believe also finds that to be true would be our good friend Mark Hamill. Yes, Mr. Luke Skywalker himself. Because after years of what I imagine must have been torture at the memory of The Last Jedi by the hands of that cruel sicko Rian Johnson, the round-headed one himself, I believe that Mark Hamill has probably been, very uneasy with this being his last portrayal of Luke Skywalker on the screen. It was one that he did not believe in. Of course, being the professional that he is, he went on ahead and did it. But he did it under a fair degree of duress. I mean, the man went on record as saying he did not believe in that image of Luke Skywalker, of that vision of him. And of course, he wasn't alone. What followed was a tidal wave of fans who said, "What the fuck is this?" Like, we could not believe it. And of course, the fandom menace came from that, and many other people who don't consider themselves to be fandom menace, but still objected to that vision of Luke Skywalker. It did not go down very well at all. All right, they had Luke Skywalker sucking on some alien titty milk, washed up, cut off from his sister who needed him, abandoned his best friend Han Solo to be murdered at the hands of his so-called son, and he's hiding out on an island someplace, just doing God knows what. And because we were led to believe that all of this was because he was disillusioned that his nephew, his beloved twin sister's son, went over to the dark side. All right, he in a moment of unclarity or unclearness or whatever you want to call it, he decided he was going to stand over his nephew and consider killing him. All right, because he so-called sensed the dark side brewing within him. This being the same Luke Skywalker who redeemed his very own father, one of the most evil men to ever exist, and the deeds that he did was terrible, but Luke never gave up on him because he sensed the good in him. All right, but we're led to believe that this is the same man who was capable of considering killing his nephew. That's just terrible. Look, for all the parents out there, okay, you know that raising kids is a very up and down kind of process with a lot of twists and turns and challenges, and it takes a whole lot of patience. Children can be very dark, all right? I know with me, raising my son, he said some things that caused me to be like, we're going to have a talk about that, son. But it's not a good parent. It's not a good mentor or someone who guides you. It's not a good person who every time you show signs of being disillusioned or capable of evil deeds, they're going to stand over you and threaten and feel like killing you. You know what I mean? Like my son, I don't know. My son got into a fight today, and he was particularly brutal, according to the school. So later on that night, while my son is sleeping, I'm going to stand over him. I can kill you. All right, my son got a bad grade in school, and he doesn't seem to be trying. He's not applying himself. Later on that night, you need to die. My son took the last cookie off of the shelf. He knew he wasn't supposed to do that. Later on that night, I got a steak knife. Come on, man. It's not realistic. See, this is the vision of Rian Johnson. You know what I mean? That was what we were dealing with. And we have scores of people out there who co-sign to that bullshit. It's amazing. All right. But fortunately, that is not the last image we'll be having of Luke Skywalker. All right. Due to the fact that The Mandalorian exists. And in the last episode of season 2, we got to see Luke the way he was always meant to be. The way that iconic character was meant to be. A lot of people out there, they say bullshit like Rian Johnson gave him a compelling arc. He had a defining arc in the original trilogy. You understand? You don't get to do what that man did and then turn around and just fucking fall the hell off and do all the things that he was doing in The Last Jedi. All that shit was unnecessary. The only reason why it existed was to boost up the character of Rey. All right, even if you wanted to have Luke have a crisis of faith, it wouldn't have been like that. You understand? We could have accepted Luke having some type of crisis of faith. We could easily accept Luke Skywalker dying and all that stuff. But see, therein lies the difference between what a real fan does with Luke Skywalker with him and what some bullshit, you know, director, writer, studio head does with Luke Skywalker, who's just looking to get notches in their own belt. You know, I did a video about that before, about this new crop of directors and stuff who only see these projects as vanity projects, what these properties can do for them, instead of coming in and thinking about, what can I do for this property? What can I do to continue the legend? No, all they're thinking about is, I want to be the one who did this, and I want to be the one who did that with these characters, you know, and as a result, you get the fan pushback. You know, so anyway, enter Peyton Reed, who directed that last episode, The Rescue, in the season 2 closer for The Mandalorian. He delivered what the fans wanted and what Mark Hamill wanted, as it turns out. All right. And Peyton Reed went on to post on Twitter how much he enjoyed doing what he did, restoring Luke Skywalker to the prominence and the prestige that he deserves. And Peyton Reed said on Twitter, he says, "Dear Hamill himself," which is Mark Hamill's Twitter handle, he says, "When I was a kid, this photo hung on my bedroom wall. Star Wars and Luke Skywalker in particular meant a great deal to me. Some things never change. It was an honor and a dream come true to work with you on The Mandalorian. Thank you. Hashtag may the force be with you." All right, now that's what a real fan looks like. That's what a real fan sounds like. And I'm probably going to use that picture that he posted in the thumbnail here so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so once again, the difference between a director who's looking to further the mythos and to honor what came before in George Lucas's vision, and a director who's just looking to suck himself off, which would be Roundhead Johnson. All right. So you have Mark Hamill, who replies to Peyton Reed, and he says, "Dear at Mr. Peyton Reed, I am so grateful to have been given the unexpected opportunity to revisit my character when he was still a symbol of hope and optimism. Your assured direction and kindness was a crucial element in the experience and means more to me than I can say. Thank you." All right, guys. I don't know about you, but that gets me right here. All right. Like I said, Mark Hamill is getting up there. We're seeing so many people who contributed to the original trilogy and the original vision of George Lucas pass away. You know, so they deserve a good send-off. They deserve to get their flowers while they're still here. Why would you do that to Mark Hamill, who you know is so well connected to that character and loves it so much? He's easily, you know, it's the best thing he's ever done. And you know, aside from his family and stuff, I'm just saying, you know, his legacy and what he's gifted unto the world is Luke Skywalker. Why would someone do what Rian Johnson and crew did to him? You know, I don't think it would have sat right with anybody if Mark Hamill had passed away and that was his last portrayal of Luke Skywalker. So Peyton Reed, I say big respect to you, and I'm so glad to see Mark Hamill enjoy that, and he's got something now to hang his hat on, and he's been reunited with his Star Wars character that he loves so much. Mark Hamill has been reunited, and it feels so good. Reunited, Peyton understood. There's one Luke Skywalker, Ryan, and yours was bullshit. Mark Hamill's so excited 'cause he's reunited. Hey, hey. I know, it's terrible, but there it is, all right? So, guys, I just wanted to share that with you. You know, a lot of guys are talking about it, and, you know, as well they should. You know, we should all be talking about this because after The Last Jedi, like I said, it left such a bad taste in our mouths. And for all the critics of The Mandalorian and stuff, I keep telling you, it's about this moment, all right? It's about the symbol of the moment. Lucasfilm under Kathleen Kennedy has been committed to nothing more than tearing down the image of Luke Skywalker, all right? They tore down Han Solo. They sent Leia out in a horrible way, but Luke Skywalker, that's the one, because he's the beating heart of Star Wars. You know, so to see this be restored, if only for a moment, is something that we should all hold on to. Now, what happens from here, I don't know. It seems like they're going to continue on to Jake Skywalker. I'm hoping that that's not the case. I'm really, really hoping that's not the case. All right, but I'm just saying, enjoy the moment that you have. Mark Hamill, I'm so happy for you. Guys, how do you feel about this? You know, have you seen this? Are you happy for him? You know, get in the comment section and let me know. And, you know, as always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. Please do. Feel free. And you can catch me on Twitter. I'll leave the link to what I'm talking about here and my Twitter page in the description below. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. As always, I will catch you in the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.